Shalom. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ha Rekah Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Alright, so the Spirit today has me in Isaiah 55. I'm going to go ahead and just start at the top. It says, Ho, every one that thirsteth, come ye to the waters, and he that hath no money, come ye, buy and eat. Yeah, come, buy wine and milk, without money and without price. See, so he's talking to the elect here, Isaiah, all right? He's talking to the ones who are going to actually gather this wisdom, right? And he's telling you, he's saying, buy wine and milk without price, without money and without price, you know? We tell you the wine is the wisdom, the milk is the beginning of this understanding, you know? When you get into the meat, that's the deeper things, the darker sayings, you know, parables. But you get milk. An example of milk would be, you know, you're an Israelite, you know? And then an example of meat would be reincarnation. That's a little bit harder to grasp, you know. For the elect, it's not, but it's deeper. All right. So you got milk and meat, and this wine is it doesn't cost a thing, man. But guess what? You can't attain it if you're not part of the elect, and if you're not part of the 144,000. All right, which are all men, Israelite men. Isaiah 50 tells you that in Revelation. Isaiah 55:2. Wherefore do ye spend money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which satisfieth not? Hearken diligently unto me, and eat ye that which is good, and let your soul delight itself in fatness. See, so we go around putting all our efforts and everything we do here in Babylon. We're trying to, you know, pay our bills, you know, buy our groceries so we can eat, do all these different things that, you know, trouble the flesh and the soul, you know, here in Babylon. Captivity, you know, you got to work just to survive, right? If you don't work, you're not going to survive. And so that's why it says, this bread, let me read it again. Wherefore do ye spend money for that which is not bread? It's not the true bread, you know. The true bread is this doctrine, is this understanding, this Bible, you know. Being diligent. Let's keep reading. For that which, and your labor for that which satisfieth not. See, you may have a house, you may have a car, and yet you still want more things in captivity in this world that you got to work for. Everything. People are never satisfied, man. You know, especially these women, you know. These women, you got them a place to over their head, you got food in their mouth. You may take care of them. And you see brothers, you know, dealing with women who are leaving them. You know, then they get offended by this truth. So, you know, these women are not going to be part of the elect. These women that do this, you see. They're not going up in a chariot. They're going to get reserved for destruction, whether they think that Yahweh Bashem Yahshai is dealing with them or not, you know. It doesn't say a woman is going to be more precious than gold. It says a man is going to be more precious than the golden wedge of Ophir. Was that Isaiah 33:11 maybe? I don't even know. I'm probably off on that one. Yeah, I'm off. Let me look it up real quick because I can't remember exactly where that is. But I want to bring that out since I brought it up. Isaiah 13:12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Alright, because the men, we're going to Salvation is through the elect, which are the prophets, the men. It doesn't start out with the woman, all right? The women in America and Babylon are out of order, man. Out of order. And even the ones that are trying to get in order, they're out of order. You people aren't really going to get in order until you start being afflicted in Jacob's trouble. This is Isaiah 55:3. Incline your ear and come unto me. Hear, and your soul shall live. And I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David. See? So this is talking about you got to listen and hear. You can't just listen. You got to hear. Or you can't just hear, you got to listen so your soul will live. You don't listen to the prophets, you don't listen to this knowledge, you don't listen to this truth. You're not going to have an everlasting covenant with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Alright? It don't work that way. You have to be in this truth to receive salvation. 4. Behold, I have given him for a witness to the people, a leader and commander to the people. Behold, thou shalt call a nation that thou knowest not, and nations that knew not. These shall run unto thee because of Yahweh thy power, and for the Holy One of Israel, for he hath glorified thee. See, and that's what it is. So King David is our leader, but in verse 5 it talks about, behold, thou shalt call a nation that thou knowest not, and nations that knew not thee shall run unto thee because of Yahweh thy power, for the Holy One of Israel, for he hath glorified thee. See, and the reason why it says the nations that knew not thee shall run unto thee is because we're getting gathered from among the four corners of the earth right now, spiritually. But then it's going to be physical when Yahweh Bashem Yahushai visits the earth. But first, it's a spiritual gathering, and we're coming from all nations because the Israelites are scattered among all nations, you know. Let's see, I think Deuteronomy 4, yep. Deuteronomy 4:27. This is why it says that. And Yahweh Bashem Yahushai shall scatter you among the nations, and ye shall be left few in number among the heathen, whither Yahweh Bashem Yahushai will lead you. See, so we were scattered among all the nations. And that's why it says what it says in chapter 55 and verse 5. I'll read it again. Behold, thou shalt call a nation that thou knowest not, and nations that knew not thee shall run unto thee because of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai thy power, and for the Holy One of Israel, for he hath glorified thee. See, so we're being glorified, and these other nations are going to run to the prophets, to the men of the Lord. They're going to cleave to us. The strangers of Israel are going to cleave to us, you know. That's why Isaiah 4:1 will happen, you know. So that's why we don't really have to worry about nothing, man. If you're in this truth and you're diligent and you just keep turning yourself to this truth, no matter what, you know, day in, day out, diligently, right? We're going to be glorified. But right now, you see, they're not doing that because Jacob's trouble isn't affecting them, you know. When the Lord humbles all these fucking heathen, and, you know, the 1/3 is going to get humbled even, the men of the Lord will be humbled. But in that time, they're going to be set up above everybody else. See? Let's get that real quick in 2nd Esdras. 2nd Esdras 2:27. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, Others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. My hands shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell. Alright? So, we're going to have abundance and be happy, even during Jacob's trouble, when it really hits. You know, and the reason why the men are going to be more precious than the gold of Ophir is because there's going to be nothing but chaos. People will be weak-minded. People are going to be losing their minds, committing suicide, killing each other. But you're going to see a stable man in the elect. The elect will be stable-minded, and people will they're going to notice that. Be like, God damn, everything, all chaos is broken forth, and you men are in a good mindset. You're stable. And since I'm bringing it up, why is that going to be? Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is his treasure. See? So this truth is going to keep us stable. So all these people that are trusting in Egypt, trusting in Babylon, America, trusting in whatever it is they trust in here on this side, that all that stuff is going to come to nothing. And the people that they trust in, they're not going to have stability. Esau Edom's not going to have stability, man. Esau Edom is going to be a terrorist in that day, a zombie. He's already a terrorist. The rest of the nations, the rest of the heathen are going to be, everyone's going to be terrorizing each other, man. You're going to be robbing your neighbor. You're going to be doing all kind of crazy shit. Because why? Because it's going to be desperate times calling from desperate measures. All right, I don't bring it out too much, but let's get 2nd Ezra 15. Second Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Alright, because if you don't have that microchip, you won't be able to go. They've already done it with the vaccination. You can't go to certain city, you can't cross border lines. They have when they had the lockdowns, they were doing this, Verse 18, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and the men shall be afraid. It doesn't say women there, it says men. But there are going to be men that are going to be stable. That's going to be the men of the Lord, the men who are in this truth diligently. I'm not talking about you lukewarm brothers. We're talking about the men who do this truth. This is your primary concern. You done sacrificed everything for this truth. Whether it be your family, whether it be your eventually it's going to be our homes. It's going to be our vehicles. It's going to be our women. Let me keep reading. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. See? So we're coming into this, man. And Lord willing, it's soon, because if you're an elect, if you're a part of the 144K, hey, your mindset should be, let's get this shit over with, man. Let's get it over with. We're gonna have to suffer. We're already suffering. Let's just get it over with, That's the right mindset. Not, let's pray for America to get better. Let's pray for America to heal itself. No. That's not the right mindset. Verse 6. Seek ye Yahweh while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Alright? And this is the grace period, man. We're in that grace period right now. This is the time you gotta seek Yahweh, all right? Not when he shows up on the scene and you've been trusting in Esau, Edom, you've been trusting in Egypt your whole life. No, you're supposed to seek him early, all right? And that's what the men of the Lord are doing. We're seeking this truth early, before all these calamities happen, before everything becomes chaotic, you know? And all these people are going to notice, they're going to see, hey, these men are not like everyone else. These men are not bugging out. These men are, they're already, firmly grounded, deep rooted. And what are we deep rooted in? It's this truth, you see? Verse 7, let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and he will have mercy upon him and to our power, for he will abundantly pardon. Alright? And then he's going to abundantly pardon who? Everybody? No, he's going to abundantly pardon the redeemed, the elect. Who's the elect? You gotta listen to the prophets to be even considered the elect. Alright? And the prophets are redeemed. Let's get that real quick. I've been getting it through the Spirit a couple times in these recent lessons. It's Revelation 14 and 4. These are they, this is talking about the prophets, alright? These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. And the women is a metaphor for doctrines or philosophies, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb, with the Lamb is Yahushai, whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto Yahweh, the power, and unto the Lamb. So that's that group that's going to be redeemed. All right, Isaiah 55 and 7. It says, let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and he will have mercy upon him. Alright, so he's going to have mercy on the redeemed. Alright, not everyone's going to be redeemed. Verse 8, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith Yahweh. See? So you might think, like it's all about prosperity, it's all about being blessed on this side, it's all about, it's all about everybody going up for salvation. But in reality, no, it's only a small number. The small number is going to be saved. It tells you that in Esdras, a small number is reserved for the kingdom. Let me get that real quick. In 2nd Esdras, I think it's 2nd Esdras 8. See, we'll start at 3. 2nd Esdras 8 and 3. There be many created, but few shall be saved. See, it's not everybody. A few will be saved. A few are going to hearken. A few are going to be, diligent and take this truth with reverence. So answered I and said, swallow then, O down my soul, understanding, and devour wisdom. For thou hast agreed to give ear and art willing to prophesy, for thou hast no longer space than only to live. Maybe I should have started I should have started at 1. And he answered me, saying, the Most High hath made this world for many, but the world to come for few. See? I will tell thee a similitude, Esdras, as when thou askest the earth, it shall say unto thee, that it giveth much mould, whereof earthen vessels are made, but little dust that gold cometh of. Even so is the course of this present world. And what's that gold? It's those men who are leading Israel, who are leading the charge when it comes to this knowledge and this wisdom. You see, he's giving you a similitude, which is a parable. He's telling Esdras, you have lots of mold of earthen vessels, but you just have a little dust of gold. He's comparing that to let's read it again in verse 3. There be many created, which is the the mold, right? Represents the mold, and few shall be saved, which represents the gold. All right. You got the mold and you got the gold. All right. The mold is in abundance. The gold is precious. Verse 3 says it all. There be many created, but few shall be saved. The majority of these people are wicked and have to be destroyed for their wickedness, all right? And that's including you Israelites. 2/3 of you Israelites have to go, all right? You're part of that mold. Isaiah 55 and where am I at? Verse 9. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, my thoughts than your thoughts. So you might walk around thinking you know what's right, thinking that Esau, Edom, he taught you the Bible right. You're like that punk vocab Malone. He thinks he's got it all. He thinks he has understanding, and he gets cut up by the scriptures when he dealt with the elders of Great Millstone. He's not on the level of not even the elders, more or less Yahweh. You see, even the elders' thoughts are higher than the thoughts of a guy like Vocab Malone, who's a scoffer, a Christian, a Renaissance Christian scoffer, all right? An apologetic is what he calls it. Apologetic Christian, which they go into replacement theology, and it's just all a bunch of bullshit, man. And at the end of the day, the Most High is the one who have people in that madness. He doesn't open everyone's eyes. The truth is not for everybody. That's what we're reading about. Verse 10. For as the rain cometh down, and the snow from heaven, and returneth not thither, but watereth the earth, and maketh it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater. See? Is bringing us to life, all right? This truth, this knowledge. It's giving us that oil, that wisdom, so now that we're in this truth, we're building up our foundation, which the centerpiece is Yahweh Shai. He's the actual, he's that first stone. When they build a house, they first build the foundation. That would represent Yahweh Shai. See? Verse 11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void. Alright? But it shall accomplish that which I please. It shall prosper in the thing whereunto I sent it. So where did Yahweh Bashem Yahushai send this truth? He sent it all over the world. He sent it in the mouth of all the prophets. We are the mouth of Yahweh. We go out there and we read his words in the street corners, and we teach our people, we show our people their transgressions, and whether they be offended or not. That's our job. And it doesn't go out void. Like there's that band that comes to the 16th Street Mall every week, and they try to drown us out with their music. But guess what? It's still not going out void. The men who are meant to see this lesson, this truth, the camp, they're going to see it. They're going to hear it. It's just got a soundtrack in the background now. But these Edomite devils, they literally go to our camps whenever we go to 16th Street for camp, and they try to drown out, they try to void the truth, but it doesn't get voided. It just tells you that right here in verse 11. You can't. It says, it shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please. See, so whatever the Lord wants to come out, then that's what comes out. And it's through the Spirit. Whatever we're saying out there when we're teaching, that's what the Lord is. It's the angels and Yahweh Bashem Yahshai ministering to us, putting his words in our mouth. It's not even something of ourselves. This is actually a spiritual thing, and Yahweh Bashem Yahushai are in control of this. You see? Verse, but it doesn't get voided out, no matter how much the devil tries to push it and void it, you know, it comes to it accomplishes which Yahweh Bashem pleases, like we read. For ye shall go out with joy and be led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills shall break forth before you into singing, and all the trees of the field shall clap their hands. See? And what's real trees can't clap their hands, right? This is a metaphor for people. Shows you that let me read that again. For ye shall go out with joy and be led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills shall break forth before you into singing, and all the trees of the field shall clap their hands. So this is going into the governments, all these different nations. The trees represent all the men, you know, like a family tree. It says the trees of the field shall clap their hands. This is a metaphor. A real tree can't clap his hands, right? It doesn't even have hands. No, it's talking about a man. When we are established the dominion, when the kingdom is come, hey, even the heathen nations are going to be happy. What is that? A blessed... Let me see. Yeah, let's get that real quick. When the wicked rule. Let me go to Proverbs 29. And 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. That's what we're talking about. Even the heathen, they're going to be clapping their hands. These trees, right? Metaphor. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. See? That's why you have everybody struggling right now. You know, even the so-called the upper class, the ones who own businesses, even they're struggling. You know, they can't keep employees. They can't. They can't. Their business is not booming like it once was. You know, all of the earth is mourning right now. Not just the lower class. You know, why? It's because the wicked are ruling. But when the righteous rule, you're gonna have all the trees clapping their hands, man. Verse 13. Instead of the thorn shall come up the fir tree, and instead of the briar shall come up the myrtle tree, and it shall be to Yahweh for a name, for an everlasting sign that shall not be cut off. So those are going to be signs, you see. Instead of the thorn shall come up the fir tree, and instead of the briar shall come up the myrtle tree. So you're not going to have no useless, in the kingdom, it's all going to be, you know, when you look at a field and sometimes you see dead spots in the field. You see, the kingdom is not going to be like that. The kingdom is going to have nothing but life. Life is going to be, like the earth is going to be alive, man. The trees, you know, the trees are going to be full and beautiful. And again, representation of the people. The people are going to be more beautiful, more glorious. Even the heathen, they're going to be more glorious than they are now. But they're still going to be heathen. They're still going to be under the Israelites. So this is what it is, though. But we got to wait till what? Till Yahweh Bashem Yahshai establish our kingdom and our dominion. Because we can't do it on our own, you see. Only thing we can do right now is just keep doing the work, keep pushing, keep feeding the flock, you know, and wait, right? Revelation 13, right, tells you to be patient. Here is the patient. Yeah, I'll just read it. Revelation 13:10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. So all these heathen nations, right? They're going to go into captivity, but they're still going to be happy because right now, if they come to America, they're in captivity, but they're mourning, right? Because the wicked are bearing rule. But when they're in the under captivity, under us in captivity, they're actually going to be happy because we're going to rule with righteousness, all right? Even though these heathen nations are going to be in captivity, they're going to be, like it says, clapping their hands. Because it's going to be a righteous kingdom. It's not going to be like, oh, Esau, Edom fucked you over, or you know, some wicked shit happened, or whatever. You know what I mean? No, it's this is what it is. So it says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So you have to be patient, man. As a, you know, this is the patience and the faith of the saints. And who are the saints? The ones who are sanctified, the ones who are redeemed, the ones who are diligent, the ones who have this truth. You know, we call ourselves the hopeful elect. You know, Lord willing, we always tell you, Lord willing, I'm in that number. You know, but we know we have to do the work to even be considered. It tells you that in the scriptures. You know. Let me see if I can get that real quick. You gotta make yourself worthy. Let's go to it real quick, and I'll close out on this verse. 2 Timothy 2:15. It says, study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. See? So we got to rightly divide this word of truth. You know? Look, here's another, I'll keep reading. But shun profane and vain babblings, for they will increase unto more ungodliness. See, so it's really not even worth it talking about this small talk or these useless things that you talk to these heathen about, you know, or the 2/3. That's why it's good to be with the brotherhood, because our conversations are holy conversations. We stay in the truth, you know. We don't talk about no bullshit. We're not talking about, you know, did the Broncos win this weekend, or what ritual did the Jesuits, because that's what it is. Those are all set up, fixed games, you know. But the blind, they let their emotions be controlled by those type of things, you know. But the ones who, let me read it again, study to show thyself, verse 15, study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. But shun profane and vain babblings, for they will increase unto more ungodliness. So it's better just to stay in the conversation on the topic should be on this truth. Every useless word that we say, we're going to be held accountable. Unless you're part of that redeemed, unless you're part of that elect, who are going to be, like it says, redeemed. All right, mercy is going to be on the elect. All right, so with that, I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ha-Rakakodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. Also, I want to acknowledge all the Akiam who are pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom to the elect.